The Veles Labyrinth Legendary Lost Sector is one of the quickest Lost Sectors you can run, so this is the one you're going to want to pay attention to when farming for exotics. If you're farming for any of the new Destiny 2 exotics you haven't gotten yet, or farming for god rolls on the armor you already own, this is the video that's going to tell you the best loadout for the easiest runs possible. I've run this Lost Sector literally hundreds of times now. I've tested a lot of loadouts, and the loadout I use is the safest and most efficient I've found for consistent runs. If you're struggling at any part in this Lost Sector, this video has all the tips you need to know so you never fail in this Lost Sector again. Hi guys, I'm Legionless, and this channel is the place to be for everything about looter shooters and ARPGs. Subscribe to the channel so you can get recommended more content on the channel, like more Destiny content that'll help you enjoy the game more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter from the description below to stay up to date with Destiny news and talk more about the game. And if you want to help support me and the channel make better content, check out my Patreon page for some extra stuff. The Lost Sector can be found on the location you see on screen, and the Legend or Master version will only appear for you when you've completed the normal Lost Sector on that character. If you don't see the Legend or Master Lost Sector icon on your map, make sure you did the normal Lost Sector already on Europa, the Cosmodrome, or the Moon. There's a flag at the entrance to the Lost Sector that you'll use to launch the Legend or Master version. In Veles Labyrinth, you're going to take extra solar damage and environmental damage. Hive Acolytes drop a solar pool of fire on the ground when they die, and arc damage you deal and receive is increased by 50%. You really should be as close to the Lost Sector's recommended power as you can, because it's just not worth it to do it too soon. There's no rush, and if you go in too low, you just feel so squishy, and I've seen too many people quit because they went in too low. I promise if you go in no less than 10 power levels below, you can do this. My favorite loadout for the Veles Labyrinth Lost Sector is a kinetic sniper rifle, an arc SMG, and Anarchy. The reason why is because there's 2 barrier knights you need to kill for platinum, and the best way I've found is to use 2 Anarchy shots, and then swap to your kinetic sniper with the anti-barrier sniper rifle season mod on your gloves. This way you can easily break the barrier if you don't kill the champion before it pops its barrier anyway. The Omnioculus SMG is honestly just for quickly killing trash enemies, and you can also use some Warmind cells if you can squeeze them into your build. For your armor, you're going to want to stack grenade launcher mods on everything except for 2 pieces. On your chest piece, you're going to want to put on arc resistant mods and concussive dampener mods. If you're finding arc damage in general to be what's killing you, run double arc resistance mods on your chest piece. If it's the Hive boomer shots from the barrier knights, run 1 of each. On your class item, I really recommend using the seasonal mod called Inferno Whip. What it does is it'll stun unstoppable champions if you hit them with a solar melee ability. This means you'll need to use a solar subclass. So Titans use Middle Tree Sunbreaker for the throwing hammer, Warlocks use Top Tree Dawnblade for the celestial fire, and hunters use whatever gunslinger you prefer. I personally went with Golden Gun doing extra precision damage. On your gloves, you'll need the sniper rifle anti-barrier mod, and then you can use whatever else you want. Again, all of your armor pieces should be using grenade launcher ammo mods for Anarchy. There's a couple variations you can make if you're missing Anarchy. Risk Runner is what I'd say to use for an exotic if you're missing Anarchy. I'd still recommend a kinetic sniper, but for your power weapon, you'll want to go with the Blast Pitu Arc Heavy Grenade Launcher, the Temptations Hook Legendary Sword, or the Heretic Rocket Launcher from the Altar of Sorrow. If you're brand new to Destiny or just returning after a few seasons away, you can get a kinetic SMG called Extraordinary Redemption from the Battlegrounds activity. You can get Apostate and Arc Sniper Rifle from the Altar of Sorrows on the Moon every 3rd day. Just check today in Destiny.com to see if the Apostate is dropping today. And again, the Heretic Rocket Launcher from the Altar of Sorrows Arrow, or even the Sub-Zero Salvo rocket launcher from Veles are really good power weapons to use. You're gonna want to kill every single champion in the Lost Sector for the Platinum ranking to get the best possible chance at getting an exotic drop. It's technically possible to get an exotic from what I've heard and seen without getting Platinum, but the drop rate is already kind of low for exotics in Legend and Master Lost Sectors. In fact, if you want to know just how awful the drop rates can be, check out the videos in the description below where I go over the exotic drop rate after 150 Master Lost Sectors, and the video where I answer if Master Lost Sectors are actually better to farm for exotics than legendary Lost Sectors. The first real struggle is navigating through the tunnels because Thrall do extra damage since their melees count as arc. Just hug the right side of the tunnels and you can just avoid the couple of Thralls you run into. When you get to the bottom of the tunnel, start lining the area with a web of anarchy shots to kill any trash enemies that walk in, but more importantly, you'll start damaging the barrier knight that'll enter the tunnel too. Start sniping it with your kinetic sniper to kill it before it pops its barrier, but if it doesn't, make sure you still have a shot or two to break its barrier. There's a bunch of trash enemies in this room, so I prefer to just quickly kill them with my sniper. If you're confident in your platforming skills, or you're high enough power level to not get blasted, you can save a couple seconds and skip the enemies by jumping up to where the last barrier knight is. Just like the previous champion, you're going to want to hit it with a couple anarchy shots, and then finish it with your sniper rifle. Make sure to have an extra shot or two in your mag in case you need to break its barrier. I hope you've been saving onto your solar melee ability because here's the one time we need it. Up ahead is the one unstoppable ogre in this entire Lost Sector, so make sure your melee ability hits. Once it's stunned, tag it with your anarchy shots and then finish it with your sniper before it can recover. The last problem is really just an annoyance. There's a yellow bar wizard that has a solar shield. It's literally the only solar shield in the entire Lost Sector, so it didn't make sense to use a solar weapon for that match game shield. Not when we're already running a solar subclass and you can just use your super, grenade, or melee ability to break the shield. Once the shield is broken, you do the anarchy and sniper combo we've been using the entire time. As soon as the wizard goes down, the boss is summoned. Get into the position you see on screen by the chest. I found this was the best spot to avoid a bunch of the trash enemies' damage, and I'm able to easily see the boss the moment it spawns to kill it as quickly as possible. I spread a full mag of anarchy around the area the boss spawns with at least one shot on the boss so it's forced to stay inside the anarchy net. Any trash enemies do get aggro to me, they'll probably get hit by that net too. Then you can just finish the boss with sniper shots to the head and turn around to collect the chest. If you use the loadout I recommend and follow the tips I found after running hundreds of legendary and master Lost Sectors, you'll easily clear this and can start getting the exotic drops you're after. Subscribe to the channel so you get recommended more content on the channel, like more Destiny content that'll help you enjoy the game more. Make sure to follow me on Twitter from the description below to stay up to date with Destiny news and talk more about the game. And if you want to help support me and the channel make better content, check out my Patreon page for some extra stuff. Thanks for watching.
This whole world twice, if I could be a paradise.